Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike, aka Crypto Jewels. Hey, guys, I'm going to do a Trias update. I've got a couple of things to point out. I've got another potential scenario brewing, unfortunately. But as we know, as traders, we have to be fluid with the market and we have to understand all the different scenarios that are possible in order to make sure that we're positioned from a risk management standpoint properly. So, guys, if you like my content, please hit the like button, the subscribe, hit the notifications button. That way YouTube knows that people are enjoying the content and their algorithms can share my content with others. I really appreciate that. That helps out quite a bit. All right, so we're going to look at, first of all, we're going to look at the two scenarios I talked about last time. Let's get the bullish one out of the way first. This one, guys, is, again, not my primary count. I think this has a 5% chance of happening. Meaning I don't think it's very likely at this point. Obviously, I can change my opinion if I want as we move forward with price. If price dictates that my bias switch to this being my primary, I certainly will do it. But until that happens, this is not my primary. It's just a potential high time frame macro scenario. So what this is a macro bullish structure with a macro 5-wave impulse up, which is a 1, 2, a large 3-wave, a 4, and a 5. The 3-wave taking us up over 500 bucks, and the 5th wave potentially taking us up over 1,000. This is a uber bullish scenario for Trias. And again, it's got, in my opinion, a 5% chance of happening. And why I say that is because this 2-wave retraced so deeply. It went under 887. If you take the bottom here and go from the top on our fib retracement tool, typical 2 waves retrace 618 down to as low as 786. This one went way below 786 and dipped under 887. Technically, it did not invalidate this impulse. It would have to breach below the origin of this 1 wave in order to invalidate that as a 2 wave. But it did go deep, which again, in crypto is not necessarily out of the ordinary. 2 waves are always usually deep. And the reason for that is the emotional and volatile nature of crypto as a whole, which is what causes these crazy extremes. So on a 2 wave, you know, everybody's in fear and they're panic selling. And then on 3 wave, everybody's in euphoria and they think, you know, they're going to be a billionaire and live on, you know, their own private island. And then little do they know, the opposite happens. So anyways, that is the ultimate reason why I don't think this is a 2 is because it went super, super deep. But if this is a 2, this is the only potential scenario I see that this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, which would be a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're on our 3 wave here, and then a 4, and then a 5 to finish our 3 wave of our 1 wave, which basically this means that we're in the heart of the 3 right now, and price should move fairly quickly and should not give us a whole lot of pullbacks. You know, obviously price does not go in a straight line, so there will be pullbacks, but they should not be very deep. So you got to keep that in mind. If we start seeing deep pullbacks, then we can, you know, reduce this chance of happening from 5% to 2%, so forth and so on. So we do really need to see this escalate in price, which it has. It did. I mean, it's moved since my last video. I mean, it's gone 70, 80%, which is obviously a huge move. So right now it's moving quickly and rapidly like it should in a 3-wave. So then you'd have a 4 and a 5 taking you to about 17 bucks, which would put in your 1 wave. And then you would have an ABC correction down to put in a 2, and then your 3, 4, 5 to finalize your 3, and then a 4, and then a 5. So that is the uber bullish scenario. The less bullish scenario, which is still bullish because I still project upside, is that this entire structure is a corrective wave. It's just a big, large corrective structure and not an impulsive structure. Like I said here, an impulsive structure indicates a macro trend. A corrective structure just really has no trend, and it's just kind of ranging in whatever, you know, range it ranges from. So With that being said, this was not an impulsive move off of the low. This is a corrective move off of the low, moving in three-wave structures, which would be, as of right now, the way I had this, a B, C to put in your larger degree A wave, and then a very, very small looking funky B wave, and then you would have a C wave up. And typically you can target, just for target purposes, price target purposes, usually an ABC goes to a roughly 1.0 fib extension, which puts our target at about $9 or so. If this count unfolds the way it does, this would move similar to the 1-2, 1-2, where this should be a 1-2. You would have a 3, a 4, and a 5 to put in your C wave, and then from there you would correct down. So this still should move impulsively if this is indeed a C wave, or if this is indeed in the heart of this 3, as in over here. The other scenario that I see brewing, so when I did my last video, or one of the videos on this odd B wave, as I have it labeled on here, we'll zoom in just a little bit. I had mentioned that it was sloppy at best, and you couldn't really tell exactly what it was as far as the wave breakdown. And I had mentioned that at that time, I was assuming it was a B because this was looking impulsive upwards. But there is a possibility that this is actually an A, this is a high B, and then we're going to have a C wave down to reset our B. If we get, a nasty rejection up here, which right now the daily's not looking so hot, if we get a nasty rejection down here that starts to look impulsive downwards, then that would mean that this is going to be a reset of your B wave. And the good news for you Trias fans, if that does happen, is that you would get a lower entry, probably somewhere around $1.37-ish or so would be my guess. That would be a 618 retrace from this entire structure here. So if that does happen, you would get something like this. And then you would have your impulse up. So that is possible. This scenario, if this happens, would completely invalidate this. So that would eliminate this, and we could take it off of our radar and assume that price is corrective, macro corrective, and not impulsive. So just wanted to share that extra little tidbit with you guys, because we are at the top here. So I'd hate for everybody to lose their gains that they've made if they ended up taking one of these trades. So I would be very careful, set a trailing stop, whatever. That way you are, positioned properly in case this does go against you. And then that way you can buy more of your Trias once it gets a little bit lower. See y'all later.